It's like being back.
Yeah,
No,
here we are again.
yeah. I just found this book being thrown away on mindfulness. It's called "Wherever You Go, There You Are." That used to be a saying we used to use in our Buddhist group when I was back, way back. Yeah. I guess
Well,
it's
except
true.
no, not true. You
No.
are stationary.
Yeah.
The body moves about. That's why they say, like, going to go see a master or something like that, you're just dragging the body from one place to another. It's not a dead body,
Oh,
so it can use the mechanisms of walking to drag
yeah.
your dead body basically to go someplace instead of like hauling a dead body over your shoulder. But it's the same.
Yeah, but
You're
it
not
depends
going
on
anywhere.
which you you're referring to.
Well, there's only one you. Why would you refer to the you that you are not?
Well,
There's, if you would like to say the false me, just like when actors are interviewed, they might say, my character was doing such and such and such and such, and it was really interesting to play that character or whatever. And it's the same way here. It's okay. You're not going anywhere. You can't move. Everything's moving around you and not even around you because you're formless. So it's moving like you could say in you, through you, uh, this or that. Jaguru Renee, you're not you're not moving because you can't move.
yeah. So when you a couple of weeks ago you said you referred to something being for a time that um, maybe you could explain what for a time means, or
Well, if you're identified with a body, then you have the concept of space and time, objects in time that you can measure. And therefore time exists within the bubble of illusion. In
yeah,
reality, there is no time.
right.
There's no form. There's no world. There's no objects. There's no nothing. But within the bubble of illusion, there is the creation of objects, time, space, movement.
This I seem to know.
Well, just like in a dream.
Yeah,
You lay down and sleep, and boom, you create this dream world. You have objects, you have space, you have time, you have movement, you have conversation, you have language, but it's all within your dream. When you wake up, you know it's not true. And waking up is simply to know yourself in a real sense. I could not have been this thing that I thought I was
mhm, mhm.
because meditation allows you to be subtle, 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 oh, sense of presence. I identify with the sense of presence instead of the body form. Therefore, thoughts, world, all these things are gone because when you're identifying with the sense of presence or as consciousness, you're worshiping consciousness as God as you understand God, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
then there's no longer a world that you're concerned about. You're formless. You know this. And the more that you have this awareness of this formless presence, this sense of presence, this just I, the understanding comes, oh, this sense of presence, whether it is or is not, I am, because it's an appearance.
So you know that you are greater than any appearance.
Well, you don't even say greater.
Yeah,
You are, everything else is not.
right. But I mean, we worship the or we honor that which is not limited to us as being sort of like greater.
I mean, you can say this presence, the Holy Spirit, the whatever you want to call it, nirvana, whatever, the presence, but there's a knowingness that this presence has appeared. And remember, the only reason you're using words is because you're in a body. you're using form. So when you're the holder of the body, and yes, you're speaking and doing natural things, but there is no speaker. Speaker and listener are one and the same. And we just flip right back to dream. In a dream, you're holding a body, you're having conversation, people are conversing with you. But when you wake up, no, man, it's not like a little puppets and different people were moving the people. It's all you. It could not have been anything else. And
So,
that's the same.
yeah. So rather than anything being greater than me, you just you're
It's
simply
just
aware.
yourself.
Well,
There's no greater or lesser because there's nothing to compare it to. Just you, the you that you are.
how about if I say it's beyond comparison?
Well, but there's no need to be beyond, nor is there need to use words because you're prior to words.
Right.
As soon as you start using words and you start comparing, then you're going to start allowing the mind flowing with the thoughts and saying, this is greater than this, or this is less than this, or I'm better than this, or I'm not as good as this.
Like I'm beyond comparison instead of being beyond comparison.
You are everything. So comparing yourself to what? That's why Srinathagautama, or actually Siddhameshwar Maharaj said, the mouse and the elephant, the same presence powers both of them.
Mhm.
Like the little mouse, he's little tiny mouse moving his little legs, and the elephant is huge, gigantic, but presence is the same in both.
Mhm.
And there's no more or less effort in either. It's only the illusion of form where we consider something larger, stronger, bigger. But when you know yourself in a real sense, formlessness in which form appears, going right back to dream. At nighttime, obviously the dream is appearing formlessly, but appears as forms. Big and small don't matter.
Is
Light
it?
and dark don't matter. In a dream, you could say, oh, it was a very bright and sunny day, but there was no light.
Funny
Just an illusion.
funny thing about dreams is they appear effortlessly.
What says is this?
Yeah, yeah.
Suddenly you click with the body, you look around and you say, oh, look at me. I'm in a world and I'm alive. I exist. And for a time you get confused because the first time you know of your existence is in body form. Prior to the knowledge of existence,
Mhm.
you didn't know you existed because you just are. Then suddenly you click body form. Oh, I exist. You look around and see a world from the point of view. That's why those are the wrong files.
Mhm.
Mantra will erase these files slowly, silently, and permanently. Because all the memories, all the experiences, everything that you've had is from the wrong perspective and the wrong understanding that I'm a body in a world. That's why it's all useless. Once, spiritual knowledge, all these sort of things, that's why Maharaj says spiritual knowledge is just to know yourself in a real sense. And the conviction is the knowing yourself in a real sense. Oh, just like you do not you're not confused or have doubts about when you wake up that the dream world was a dream. It's just not possible. Unless maybe like you're in a mental institution and you can't differentiate, like you're constantly hallucinating. But when you wake up in the morning, you absolutely understand, you have the conviction that, oh, that was just a dream.
Mhm.
Even though you were experiencing, you were speaking, there was the sun, the moon, the lights, maybe water. There was activities. It could have seemed like a very long time, even though you know it was a very short time. You could have multiple dreams in one night where you're in totally different areas. Maybe one dream you're in a castle, and one dream you're in the woods, and one dream you're at the beach. You're producing all of these things, but you wake up. It's just a dream. And that's the spontaneous conviction. If somebody told you, oh, no, 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 this part was true, or did you bring something out of your dream? Will you please bring something out of your dream? Yeah, you cannot, because it's not true. And so now you look at the waking dream and you say, I know myself in a real sense. It appears very true. I can knock on this computer and it seems very solid. But I'm not confused because I know myself.
What are we talking about here?
Oh,
A new piece of furniture or something else?
no, sorry. I didn't mean to say the wake word. Sorry.
No worries at all. I'm just glad you're not trying to compliment my physique.
No, it's all good. I have the new the plus, so it's very conversational, but you have to be very careful about saying the wake word.
Wait, you said wake?
The wake word.
Yeah, I didn't
You
hear you.
know,
I didn't hear
I don't want to
you.
say the name of what it is because then she will pop up again. Uh, and I have three of them, so they're named different things, and to keep them, all. So if I say the word that I just said or any of
Mhm.
those, then it wakes up, and because now it's the plus version with the AI, it wants to
Oh,
talk.
oh,
So
that was it. That was AI,
yes.
the voice. Okay. Interesting. Oh, so you got to be careful. Huh. So that kind of refers to something I thought about today, not long before the meeting. What what is appropriate and what is not. Like it wouldn't be appropriate for us to be talking about going to the beach while we're having this conversation. But so there's uh, appropriate does apply, but only to the bubble of illusion or limited
Well, yeah,
extent or limited
in order to
extent.
use words, you have to be in the bubble of illusion.
Yeah.
So everything you're talking about is absolutely false, even though you believe it to be true. You
Yeah.
could say, I had a really great day at the beach, and then this was happening, and that was happening. And it's both true and false because true, there was the concept of experiencing this experience, false in that it wasn't true because you were formless. Again, back to dream. I can sit there and tell you about a dream in vivid detail. True, because I was experiencing it within the dream using the dream body, but false because it absolutely wasn't true. The conviction, as I said, you wake up in the morning, you are convinced that it was a dream. It could not have been true. The confusion lies because of identification with the body that this part is true and that part is somehow not true in my head, but both are just projections on your spontaneous presence. You can identify with the body both in the dream and in the waking dream. You can have experiences both in the dream and in the waking dream, but none of them are true in either waking dream or sleepy dream.
Which makes me think of one of the things that has sort of confused me over the years and made me think that continued me to feel that that reality or that I am somehow or that experiences are somehow real is that it seems in my mind that maybe this awareness of formlessness and selfless self can somehow be transferred into actions and like appropriateness as if I can get information about what's appropriate from what isn't even in the bubble of volition in the first place.
Well, there's nothing there. Those are all imaginings through mind, trying to imagine what it's like to be yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're so used to playing in the dreamy dream and the waking dream.
Yeah, they seem to cross over, but they kind of don't.
What, waking dream and dreamy dream? They do. That's
No,
absolutely
I
the same.
mean, selfless self and dreams, period, don't really have.
Selfless self is the you that you are,
Yeah,
and the dream is within the presence, the projection, and is not true.
yeah. So,
Again, we have it's so easy. It's either you or illusion. Can it be known? Yes, it's illusion. Can it be experienced? Yes, it's illusion. Can it be touched? Yes, it's illusion. Can it be thought about? Yes, it's illusion. And then you. What can you say about you? Nothing. Not the concept of nothing, the true lack of all things, the absence of everything. Because all things are not you.
yeah.
Going back to dream, everything in your dream is absolutely not true. And yet, for a time, you can say, I was experiencing swimming. I woke up, I was not wet. The experience seemed true because of the massive identification with the body form. Impressed through, I am swimming. You weren't swimming. And if you went in the waking world and jumped into the ocean you're still not swimming.
So the experiences or imaginings of the of thought can can I can seem to be laying images on selfless self that are related
Well,
to
you're not
the
really
images.
doing
The
anything.
images.
It's just there's awareness of these objects because you're aware of yourself. And right away, you're projecting and experiencing and imagining spontaneously.
Right.
But it's not true. It's like the board is here and everything's going on the board, and you're not even on the board. You're not even, and yet the board is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can move pieces around and have activities and all this sort of thing, but you're not. You're totally out of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's selfless self is kind of unrelated to experience.
You can't relate to anything. You're more like the space or the sky than any of the objects. You say, "Oh, I'm driving to work." No, you're not. You're formless. You've identified with the body form, and you're going along on the little body's journey and then calling it your journey. But it's not true.
Yeah.
Again, just like in dream, you're dreaming, you're swimming, you wake up, I was not swimming. It's obvious. I'm not wet, so I couldn't be swimming. So here you are. You say, "Oh, I'm stuck in traffic. It's a long commute today." But you're not commuting. You're
It's
the formlessness identified with the body, experiencing the concept of commuting due to identification. But you know yourself in a real sense. You could say that all the cars on the road are you and are within you. All the people are within you, just as a dream. You could be dreaming about commuting, and it's the exact same thing. You are not commuting in your dream, and you're not commuting in the waking world. And that's why when the little mistake happens and you start to get irritated about the slow commute, then you're identifying, and then that thought train. Oh boy, is that you're going to identify completely with the thought train of I am stuck in traffic and not enjoying this experience. But there's no experience, no experiencer. You're formless. There's nothing. Where all experience ends, there you are. You give power to the mind and flow along with the thoughts, and you've created your own little monster, and then you're suffering from
like
this illusory monster that you created.
being lost in a jungle or something.
like jumping into the river and being carried downstream, not being able to stand up, not being able to get out of the river because you've presented the power to the river.
Yeah. It's kind of like I sometimes I think of it as being our senses give us a sense of being in reverse as to what is actually present because it's based on reflections and experience and re-experience and memory
But
and all that.
senses came along with the body.
Yeah,
They're just sending signals.
yeah.
And because you're identified with the body form, you're saying these signals are, I am feeling cold. I am feeling hot. But
So
it's not true.
it's the opposite of what's true, like a reversal or something.
Well, nothing's true. So everything that we can talk about is not true.
Yeah,
There's nothing that's true, except you could say your existence.
yeah,
But now the knowledge of existence is not true, but existence is obviously true. The knowledge of existence is the first illusion. I exist
yeah, yeah,
because it's something that can be known, not you.
yeah, yeah. So that's when in the past I've referred to the blind spot. I think that is the blind spot is when something as soon as something seems to be known to be, it blinds me to what I actually am.
Well, and you no, it doesn't blind you because it's just a illusory layer on your presence.
Yeah,
And as long as you're, at first, of course, the ash is very heavy. We believe ourselves to be bodies in a world. We were born. We have parents. We've been told that we have to live this life and do all these things. But slowly, silently, and permanently, the illusory ash is removed. Fire is burning brightly. Now, maybe a little bit of dust gets on occasionally, but the more you remain with your selfless self, whether there's dust there or not, oh, fire is always burning bright.
mm,
I don't have to worry and think about all these things. I just do my job, do my duties, take care of responsibilities in the moment. And then, just like we said in the very beginning, here we are again. Like it was like, okay, we closed, and then here we are.
yeah,
You didn't count every single moment until this next talk, or document each and everything that was happening and all this kind of stuff. We just went through, and here we are.
mm,
Scenes appeared and disappeared, and scenes appeared and disappeared, and now suddenly a new scene is here, and here we are. That's why you could be having like a rough day, and in the past, identified with the body, you say, "Oh, why are these bad things happening to me? Another bad thing. Oh, I broke this. I was late for this. I had a flat tire. I did this. Oh, it's so terrible." But now it's not like that because even the very next day, it's like it's fresh. It's not impressed on you like, "Oh my God, this is like a series of bad things happening." But in
yeah,
the past, flowing along with mind flow, you could truly believe that not only is today a bad day, but you could have a whole bad week
yeah,
because you're just identified with the flow of thoughts. This bad stuff is happening to me. Oh, it's so terrible. Oh, how am I ever going to get out of it? And all this sort of thing. And now it's just spontaneous. Maybe it's happening like not to your liking. Maybe it is happening to your liking, but it doesn't matter. It's just a scene appearing and disappearing, scene appearing and disappearing. And yet you could still say, oh, I just need a mental health day. I don't want to be around people today. Okay, that's fine. Because there's no real identification in that, even. It's just like, I'm just, okay, this is normal. If I just said, oh, I'm a very spiritual man, I cannot be disturbed by anything. Well, there can be things out there that will. Even you're almost like daring the universe to come and attack me. And although you are prepared for this because it's just a scene, you're not cocky about it, because then again, it's the egoistic sense of I'm all powerful.
Yeah.
That's why Sri Ramakant Maharaj says, don't get carried away as things start to look like they're happening your way and everything's breezy and all this sort of stuff. Don't take that little subtle ego that now everything is happening as I wish it to happen, because there's no you. And the truth is, the you that you are, everything is happening as you wish it to happen, but not the individual little body form. Just like a dream, all those characters in the beginning of the dream, nobody knows what's going to happen in that dream. And then it's just spontaneous actions and all this sort of stuff. And it's either good dream or bad dream or whatever. But it's not like the characters know, like, oh, this is what's going to happen. And the same here. You're formless, you're holding form, moving through, just kind of knowing that all of this, whether it's dreamy dream or waking dream, it's just not true.
We see everybody or most people interested in knowing what's happening or gonna happen. It's like, what's the weather tomorrow? What's the weather now? I'm not outside.
Well, I checked weather.
Yeah.
I ask, I'm not going to say the wake word, but I ask all the time, like, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow? Because I want to prepare for my clothing to make sure it's appropriate. Take an umbrella if it's going to maybe rain or something like that. But again, that's not you say, oh, well, if you're not a body, then why would you worry about it raining? Well, because I don't want to get wet. Even though it's illusion, the experience of being rained on without an umbrella is not going to be, or sitting with wet clothes all day long at work, not going to be good.
I am interested in you what I somehow when the wake word appeared and the voice appeared, I missed the word that sparked that. Can you spell the word maybe?
Computer. And then I have the Alexa, and then I have ECHO. Those are
Oh,
the three in my house that when I say the words, they control those areas of the house.
oh, oh, okay. It's just like any experience we get barraged by stuff that we didn't expect to appear. Get barraged by a voice from a computer. Get,
Well, these little uh, items, they control the lights and the different, all kinds of stuff,
mm,
and tell the weather and set my alarm.
yeah.
Uh, you know,
Because it appeared to me that there was like you had somebody in the room with you that
yeah. Well, I do technically, I guess.
they were sleeping over or something.
No, it's artificial intelligence, but yeah.
Mm, mm. Kind of like our intelligence. Mm. It gives us identifications that we don't really need or want, or that we don't realize we want. We don't realize we don't want these identifications to be limiting us. So in that sense, we're sort of blind to what is good for us. But still, that's referring to me as an individual. But
And that's just all illusion and imagination. You're
mm,
just writing a little story. If you like doing that, that's fine, whatever. Just know yourself, it's all false. So you don't get so hung up in it.
mm,
Just like people who write for TV. They write these amazing stories. We enjoy watching the television shows and all that, but they're certainly not confused between the story they write and what's happening in their life.
yeah,
Even if the story that they're writing has something to do with their life, they absolutely know this is the story and that was the life. It's not the same.
Yeah.
And so you know yourself in a real sense. This is the story.
Mm.
As Sri Ramakant Maharaj says, you play your part very well. Play your role.
Mm.
But don't get caught up in this is me.
Yeah. Huh.
You are not body, you were not body, you're not going to remain the body. No birth, no death. Formless without the concept of formlessness. And nothing without the concept of nothing. Except your selfless self, there's no God, no Brahman, no Paramatman, no master. Nothing is there.
That's why.
Anything that appears can disappear, and everything that appears is illusion. The one to whom it appears is not. But the one to whom it appears, if they say, I'm seeing with these eyes in this body, that's illusion.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why last week I mentioned that I read Das Bode, and sometimes Das Bode mentions the form of the self, and I asked you about what is about the form of the self. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago,
Formless.
and then you said formless. So yeah, it's like
Yes.
it's kind of seems contradictory to say, or
Well, you can't say anything about the illusion without being contradictory.
yeah, 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 to your actual being or whatever.
You know, Sri Ramakant Maharaj says, if at all you want to compare yourself to sky or space. But of course, you don't want to compare yourself to sky or space because you're more subtle than sky or space because these can be perceived, can be experienced
Yeah.
within the bubble of illusion only.
So from a bubble of illusion point of view, you could you could say there is a blind spot that makes me unable to be aware that I am not what I think I am.
Well, again, the mind, if you take it to mind, mind came along with the body. So all the thoughts, all the images, all the everything from mind is illusion because that's all the mind is capable of projecting.
Yeah, yeah.
The mind doesn't know prior to mind.
It's blind. So in that sense, it's blind from as you know.
It views it as the concept of death. Nothing's there.
Yeah,
Even in meditation, you go to meditation and there's like a void. People get scared. Oh, very scary. There's a void there
yeah,
because mind can't go where you are.
yeah. Well,
Mind is a layer on your illusory. It's like you have sense existence, presence that projects, body, mind, ego, intellect, actions, it's like the layers of illusion just keep piling on. Mind knows all that kind of stuff. And that's why if you give it to mind, you'll be stuck in illusion forever. If you were to hook up a little a fish in a fishbowl with a little thing that read its mind, it would believe this is my world. This is all there is.
yeah,
And yet you are sitting there looking at the fish outside of his world.
yeah.
It's only the perception and the identification. You have to get rid of this. Complete. And you don't have to really get rid of it. You just have to know yourself and it will dissolve automatically.
Yeah.
When you know yourself in a real sense, that's it. It's over. The illusion cannot impress you. It would be like watching TV in color and then suddenly seeing it in black and white. And you know, oh, wait a minute, this is totally different. It's no longer like entertaining. It's no longer like you're drawn into it. You're not confused anymore. It's like the mind is presenting things to you that just have nothing to do with you. And therefore you're not interested. You're not flowing along. You don't jump in the river and get swept away. Instead, you're standing at the bank. You might view what's rolling through the river, but you're not involved in it. And if there's a shiny bottle rolling down the river and you're on the bank, you can lean in and pick that bottle out and say, oh, this is a nice bottle. But you're not going along.
Hmm.
And this is where Sri Ramakant Maharaj says, which thought to accept, which not thought to accept is up to you.
I had an interesting perception earlier today. I was going over this stuff in my mind, and then and I was writing something down, writing down my perceptions, and then it occurred to me that okay, I'm writing my arm and the pen and the motion of the writing and the words that are appearing on the paper are all they have they have no awareness themselves. So the only awareness here is somehow this invisible awareness that is energizing like the mouse. And what energizes the mouse and the elephant, that's what I am, but I can't see it. I can't, it's invisible to me. And
Correct. Well,
it's
that's why when
like
you're
a
writing,
usher.
you could look at your arm and you absolutely know this is not like there's just just looking at your body there, this is not
Yeah. Yeah. It's
it,
not alive. It's not even alive in a way.
exactly.
It's like
It's
yeah. I wanted to mention the Escher drawing. Do you ever see that one where it's got the hand and the arm drawing another hand and an arm? You ever see that? You know who Escher is, the
I
artist?
do not. I do not know.
Well, he's a fascinating artist. He makes these it's like illusions within illusions. Uh, it's like things within things he draws. I think it's spelled Eischer. If you look it up, you'll recognize you have seen some of his artwork. But yeah, he has one where it's just a forearm with a pen in it, with a bend in the elbow, drawing another forearm with a pen and an elbow that looks exactly the same. And I don't know, very interesting. And that's what I felt when I experienced that. Of course, yeah, just another experience. I didn't
You
know
don't
it.
get hung up on the experience. You understand that the formless experiencer, that there's an understanding that's developing.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
spontaneous conviction is coming of I am not body.
right.
You can just look at your hand and there's just a knowing that that's not me.
Yeah.
Body is available, do your job, do your duties, take care of your responsibilities, but body is not you. Experiences are not you.
That's crazy talk.
You have not, will not, and never will experience anything, nor is anything